tell me, do you ever have those days when you're just not feeling it? And if so, how do you pivot so that you can be ready to go when your trainer arrives, and not just physically ready with your gear and everything, but emotionally ready as well?
Welcome to Faith on Fitness, a podcast sponsored by Benefit Personal Training, an in-home personal training company dedicated to helping mature clients stay strong, fit, and healthy for life. At Benefit, we believe that aging may be inevitable, but getting old is optional. Each episode will feature health and wellness experts, as well as people just like you who are living full and active lives well into their 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond, proving that senior and sedentary don't have to go hand in hand. So get ready to listen, laugh, and learn on this episode of Faith on Fitness.
Welcome to Faith on Fitness. Today, we're going to be talking about consistency and how critical it is to your success in any endeavor, particularly with respect to achieving your fitness goals. And today, we've invited a Benefit client who has fully embraced, both in word and in deed, the importance of consistency with her fitness program. Franne, welcome to the show. I'm so glad that you are able to join me today.
Thank you, Faith. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited as well because you are like a poster child for what an ideal client looks like. So just in the way of introduction, you're a relatively new Benefit client. You've been on board for about 3 months. You're about to turn 60, is that correct?
That is correct. In October, I will be 60.
Awesome. Most of our clients, as you well know, train with us between 2 and 3 times per week. But you are certainly an exception because you've decided to meet with your Benefit trainer 6 days a week. And I think at one point you were actually entertaining bumping it up to 7 times per week. So we all want to know, what's the source of your motivation, first of all, and then why are you so fired up?
Okay, those are 2 great questions. The source of my motivation, there's really 3 points. One is I heard about Benefit fitness training and I love the concept that there were personal trainers for seniors who understood and were sensitive to what seniors needed in terms of exercise and fitness. So that was one.
Great.
2, the opportunity to have a trial session that was customized to me to see if I would like it. So sort of a try before you buy was critical. And then 3, I perhaps, like others, perhaps not, since March of 2020 had put on the COVID-19 pounds.
Sure.
In fact, I put on a few more than the COVID-19 pounds. And the thought of having to go back into the office in the fall of 2021, not having any dresses that could fit, was enough to motivate me to get fit so that I could fit into my dresses that had miraculously shrunk in the closet.
Listen, there's not a woman on this call who can't identify with what you were saying right now, myself included. So this is great. So I'm curious to know, what were some of your assumptions?
Some of my assumptions were that only Olympians or only 20 or 30-year-olds trying to improve their social life or only hardcore fitness folks had personal trainers. So I think they call them gym rats. I didn't fall into any of those categories. And again, had I not heard about this specialized focus on seniors, I wouldn't have even entertained a personal trainer. I wasn't, because of COVID, interested in going into the gym, and I wasn't interested in having a gym membership. And that's where a lot of personal trainers are. And I certainly did not want to have personal training lessons when there's other people around who may have been more expert than I, probably not watching me, but being self-conscious, thinking that they were watching me. So personal training in my book prior to this experience wasn't something that I thought was for me.
So what has the experience been like?
The experience has been super. I mean, summer of 2021, starting with the very easy to schedule first time trial session.
Right.
And then having that trainer assess where I was in the first session, as well as work with me on certain areas that I wanted to work on, was exciting. I
Right.
thought, oh my goodness, I can do this. And as you mentioned, I was not interested in 2 or 3 times a week. My feeling was that if I was going to have a trainer, and since I didn't really know what I needed to do, I wanted to have someone work with me every single day. If
Right.
you're learning a language and you're taking a class, they usually have them every day. If you're immersing yourself in a new habit, you do it 30 minutes every day. So I thought it was important to have the daily commitment. And from, again, the very first session, it was fun. There wasn't a lot of equipment needed. I needed to show up. I worked out in my driveway. So when it was
Right.
raining, we worked out on the porch. The trainer brought some things, but everything, the bands, everything that they brought was not intimidating. It was relatable. When I finished, I felt a sense of accomplishment, that trial session, and immediately said, you know what, sign me up for 16 sessions. I want to do this every single day.
Awesome. It's interesting. You said it wasn't intimidating. So your previous experiences in the gym or in other environments, that's how you felt?
I've walked through gyms and I have felt intimidated, although I didn't really try most of the equipment, maybe the bicycles, just
Right.
because I don't sit on a bike but gyms just seem to be places for people that knew what they were doing.
Right.
And since I knew I didn't know what I was doing, I just wasn't interested. The convenience factor, the sort of no excuse factor, was important. And you asked earlier initially about the motivation. I was motivated. I had something that was going to be customized. I had something that was convenient, and I had a target date some months in the future and a way of measuring whether or not the investment of time and energy was going to be worth it. That was enough for me.
Okay.
Um, and again, the actual sessions, as I began to do them, I initially had them scheduled for 6 in the morning, and that was very convenient because then when I was finished, I could take a shower. I was ready for work, which was work at home.
Right.
And then as I expanded and looked within your system for people who could fill in the everyday, other trainers were available. One was at 8:30 in the morning, one was at 5 o'clock in the evening. And so I quickly found that there were advantages to having two trainers
Sure.
uh, who were both experienced, had similar training, had a similar approach, and had different exercises. And they were aware of what each other was doing. So, again, the daily or nearly daily training was complementary. And I found myself, as a result of having the sessions 6 days a week on a consistent basis, I could see improvements. I was sleeping better. I was feeling excited. And by the second week, it felt like summer camp for adults. It was my hour in the driveway to work on myself. And the neighbors would tease me because it was kind of, a little bit before the Olympics. So when I would go to the park, they would be walking their dog. They would ask me, "Oh, are you training for the Olympics?" I'm like, "No, I'm not." But, they were kind of impressed with the consistency
Right.
because they saw, the cars drive up in the driveway. And, one of the trainers had me running down the driveway, and the folks that pick up the recycling, Thursday at 9 o'clock, they would see me out there hustling. And so it began, I felt like I had a community cheering crowd.
Well, Fran, it sounds like your neighbors are messing with you a little bit. Sounds like it's all in good fun. But you mentioned them being impressed with your consistency, as they should be, because they know that what you're doing isn't easy. Getting up day in and day out and showing up for yourself and grinding it out on those days when you feel like it and when you don't is commendable. It really, really is. So it's clear that you're highly motivated. That's indisputable. But tell me, do you ever have those days when you're just not feeling it? And if so, how do you pivot so that you can be ready to go when your trainer arrives, and not just physically ready with your gear and everything, but emotionally ready as well? Because for most people, that's the hard part.
One, I think you have a very clever business model, and that is you prepay for the session. So it's already paid for. And it's in your driveway or your basement, or, it's on your location.
Right.
So that's one. The other is I always make a point of being ready 15 minutes ahead of time.
Okay.
So in the event that I might be like, you know what, I've got 15 minutes to get over it. Put on my sneakers and I'm ready 15 minutes ahead of time. And I would find myself sort of stretching.
Yeah.
And by the time you start stretching, even if it's not exactly what your trainer would have you do, you're moving and you're sort of mentally getting into the groove. And then the other thing is there are exercises and attitudes of each of the trainers that I really liked and appreciated. So, one trainer I never know what's going to come out of her car, because sometimes it's a ball, sometimes it's a stretch band, and so she makes it fun.
Great.
And she's like, "Hi, Fran, how you doing?" So even if I wasn't in the mood after 15 minutes being in my sneakers, when I see her,
Yes.
She sets the mood.
Yes, indeed. And that's what you want in a trainer, right? Not simply someone who's knowledgeable, although that's critically important, but you want someone who can light that fire and ignite that passion. And I'm delighted that our benefit trainers are bringing that kind of energy to each and every training session. So in closing, Fran, talk to people who might be listening. They may have entertained hiring a trainer in the past, but they may still be a little hesitant. Tell them what you feel has been the greatest benefit of working with your trainer.
Quite frankly, that it's all about me, and who doesn't love it's all about me. And it is all about me because it's there as I'm working out, and I'm sort of moving a little bit past your question. But as I'm working out and doing the various things, there are always words of encouragement, great job. One of the trainers, with my permission, every 4 weeks will sort of take one photo. And then later in the day or a day later, she'll text me and say, "Wow, great arms. See, I told you." So, there's this encouragement.
Yeah.
Initially, I started out with 2-pound weights in terms of the arm exercises. And then on my own, I had 3-pound weights, but on my own, I said, I think I'm ready for 3 pounds. And then I recently purchased 4-pound weights because I thought, you know what?
I'm
Those
ready.
3-pound weights are feeling light. I mean, it's feeling too easy.
Wow.
So knowing that I'm improving and that I'm seeing the benefits. And when I step on the scale, when I first started, I was 188 pounds. And I, again, when I put on my dresses and like they slipped over the hips, they stopped. They were like, "Nope, not going any further. Thank you. Must be the wrong body." But we were made for a different size, like the size is on the label.
Right.
And these hips aren't matching. So now today when I stepped on the scale, it was 169.
Wow.
And
Congratulations.
so, and again, it's not just the weight. I am physically, I can do a 30-second plank.
Okay.
When I started out, I was like, okay, first of all, where do the arms go? Where do my toes go? What are you asking me to do? Like mentally, talk about mindset.
Yeah.
I couldn't even picture in my mind, although the trainer was doing it for me. So I saw what I was supposed to do. I couldn't align the brain cells and my muscles to even think about doing it. Then I moved up to 10 seconds and 15 seconds, and now I'm 30 seconds. I'm probably on the path for 35.
Wow.
So with good clearance, like I know it's good clearance. So I'm excited. Again, summer camp for adults, 4 hours.
I love it.
You just can't beat it.
I love it. You are killing it, my sister. You are killing it. We are so very proud of you, and we're glad that we're walking through this process and transformation with you, and that you entrusted us with this awesome responsibility to help you get in better shape and live the life that you want to live and be as active and strong as you can be. And you're proving that you can do it, right?
Absolutely.
At any age, it can be done. So thank you so much for coming on, just to give us a little encouragement, because that's what we need. I think it's one thing for, a trainer to tell you can do it, but for someone who started off where you were, who didn't even know what a plank was, right?
Right. I've heard of walk the plank in pirate ships, and I knew I did not want to walk the plank. But hey, I can do the plank now. So.
Right, for 30 seconds. So you are truly a poster child for what personal training can do. And so thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm going to definitely have you back again, probably in another 3 months, so you can give us an update. Does that sound good?
That sounds great. And thank you to your team. Your team is fabulous. I'm really proud of you and your husband, Bentley, for the business that you've built, the team of trainers that you have, and the high quality service that you provide.
So thank you, Franne. I so appreciate that. So appreciate that. And it makes it all worth it when we come in contact with people like you and we're able to see the fruit of our labor. So thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you.
All right. Have a great day. Thank you so much, Franne.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Faith on Fitness. If the sedentary life isn't for you, and you'd like the help of an in-home personal trainer to regain your strength, energy, and independence, then call us today at 888-323-8677 or visit us online at benefitpersonaltraining.com. And thanks again for joining us on this edition of Faith on Fitness.